Good morning, everybody. I am your host, Lazaro Gomez, and this is episode 12 of Noodle Doodle. Episode 12. I've already done 12 of these things. I think I'm getting the hang of it now. I hope. Anyways, if you're new to Noodle Doodle, this is my podcast that I do on a weekly basis, Sunday morning, 9-ish. I try to go for 9 o'clock, but sometimes I get delayed. But yeah, this is my relaxed time, I guess you could say, where I just pick a prompt in my 300 drawing prompt book, pick a topic to talk about, and just kind of go for it. Just kind of go for it. So, interesting enough, interesting enough, I watched this documentary of an artist that I like. His name is Anthony Lister, and he is an Australian-based artist. And on Netflix, they have a documentary on him and his family called "Have You Seen the Lister?" And man, I thought it was so interesting, but it really it really hit home on some parts, you know. Um, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk about today is that particular documentary, um, the similarities and differences between what I saw in that documentary and what I've experienced in my life. And also it got me to the topic of this week's podcast, which is career paths. You know, it, it's something it's something that when you're a young artist, you think about. It's something that changes based on your life experiences, um, and just in general. Like some people, they say, okay, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, bam, 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 and it all worked out. And then for other people, they have that plan, but somewhere along the line, it veers to something else, right? So either your career path changed drastically, or it slightly changed, or you got to where you wanted to go to, or you didn't get there at all. And this particular documentary was that. It's basically the journey of Anthony Lister, and how much his life changed. And if you haven't seen that documentary, it's on Netflix. I highly recommend that you watch it, especially if you're an artist. If you're an artist, I'll tell you what. When it was done, um, I hugged my family really, really hard. And some parts of the documentary, I mean, even now, I'm kind of getting a little bit, teary-eyed. But some parts of the documentary really hit home. And man, I kind of didn't want to do this this noodle doodle, but we're gonna go for it, right? We're gonna go for it. I think it's important that we do. But some parts of the documentary really hit home, and I remember just sitting here watching it because I was working on new artwork. I have this new style of artwork that I'm kind of working on, um, and I was working on that. I was 3D printing, and I said, no, let me check this out. And then I started watching this documentary, and I was like, yeah, cool. And in the beginning, it started out, the same way I started, in the same way any other artist would start out. This love and passion for artwork and creativity, and you're just drawing. And I describe it like just a hurricane, right? Like a hurricane of creativity, and all of these ideas and things are floating around your mind, and you're constantly drawing, constantly sketching, and you can't stop, right? You can't stop. And then of course you start you start realizing, or you start identifying these different things in your mind, and okay, what do I want to do? Oh, and you develop your skill, you develop your style. These are all things that we talked about on previous noodle doodles. um and you start going down this path. you know what do you want to do? Well, I want to create artwork, and I want to sell artwork, and kind of make it my career, and it's all great. So you start looking at those different things. Do you want to show in galleries? Do you acquire an art manager? Do you do it all on your own? What's the path you're going to take? So Lister did that. He was creating artwork, and he got together with his manager, and it kept going and kept going. He created some pieces that were inspired by superheroes and villains, and that kind of put him on the map. And he did a local show in his town, and he was successful at it. He sold all the pieces. He got $40,000. He bought this house with his wife. They started a family, and it kept going, kept going. He kept creating artwork, and he started traveling, and he became famous. Right? He became famous in the art world, and that's the part that it started hitting home. You could see how much his wife, sacrificed for his career. He was jet setting all over the world. He was going to all these different parties. He was meeting all these different people. He was, basically doing everything that is typical for an art career. Meeting curators, meeting everybody, doing interviews and all kinds of stuff. My light is wigging out. I don't know if you guys can see that on YouTube, but it's bugging me. Ooh, I might have to get a new one. But anyway, I squirreled myself. He was doing everything that is part of an art career. When you do this sort of stuff, a lot of people don't realize that not only do they love the artwork, but they love the artist equally, and they want, it creates a scene where you want to be with the artist, and you hang out, and this person and that person, oh, come by the studio, and blah blah blah, and you're creating all this artwork, and you're sending it to your managers or whatnot, and just curating shows and getting shows ready and all this stuff, right? So, all right, enough of that. It's the art show. It's the business side of all of it. And I completely understand it. I understand it 100%. You have this idea, you're putting it down. Will it sell? Will it not sell? Does it stay true to the expression that I'm trying to do? Because as an artist, that's like the worst thing that can happen to you, or it's the worst thing that you could allow people to do to you. All right, if you're an artist, that is, hey, I love your artwork, I love your style, I think everything's great. Can you do this ad for like Levi's jeans? I want you to draw a pair of jeans. And it's like, wait, what? No, no, this is my expression. This is my language. This is my art. You're more than welcome to buy a piece of artwork and use it in your jean ad all you want. But you're not going to change me to create something that you want. And it's always that way. And you have to be careful for those sort of things. And that happened to him. That absolutely happened to Anthony Lister. He was creating all this artwork and this and that, whatever. And then the more famous he became, he was doing things that he absolutely did not like. He's posing for Vogue magazine, and doing all of these different things. And it's so crazy because yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. You have a vision of what your artwork is and what your expression is and who you are as an artist, and that's important. You have to conserve that no matter what, no matter what, because you're gonna have that. You're gonna have people that, oh man, I absolutely love wrestling, and it'd be awesome if you just painted some wrestlers on my, it's like, no, dude. I get that you love wrestling, I do too, but if I'm a pop artist, or if I'm a modern artist, why, I'm gonna put wrestling or whatever it is through my filter, and that's what's gonna come out. And if you like it, you buy it. If you don't, then you don't. And so all of these different things, right, are in this documentary, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, how many times have I had that happen? You know, oh, I love the way you draw, but you know what? You should be a tattoo artist because you're gonna make so much money being a tattoo artist and this and that, whatever. And it's always that way. People approach an artist and never think about what the artist wants, or the feelings of the artist. Yeah, I'm a talented artist. I could draw, but no, I don't like doing tattoos on people's skin. All right, I have a few tattoos myself. I enjoy it. That's cool. But I don't want to sit in some studio tattooing people just because someone told me, "Hey, you draw really awesome. You should do tattoos." That's not me. That's not me, and I'm not gonna do something that's not within my realm or something that I enjoy or put my seal of approval on, right? And so, that's in the documentary, all of that stuff. But what really hit me, and I guess I should start drawing, right? I picked today's prompt, which is good and evil, just because that was in the documentary and it kind of fits today's noodle doodle. And we might go a little bit long, I don't know. Whatever it takes to get this out right. So anyways, I started seeing all of that, and just the interaction between him, his kids, his wife. He was getting all of these crazy opportunities. He had to move. He had to, go to New York, do shows in New York, and then come back home to Australia, and then different parts of Australia, and so on and so forth. And they're raising kids, and they're doing the best they can, right? They're doing the best they can. Yeah, they're doing the best they can. Meanwhile, he's he's making money. He's making money. He's doing art shows. He's successful. He's getting everything he wants. Like everything when he started, and he met his wife. He's like, yeah, we're gonna make artwork. We're gonna sell this artwork. We're gonna, build our family. We're gonna do everything we want to do. And that is like, oh my god, dude. Speaking to my wife, and when we met around the same age they met. And yeah, I'm an artist. I do all of these crazy drawings or whatever it is. I want to start a business. I want to do things a certain way that's not conventional to what it is, So I don't have a manager. If I want to do a show, I'll contact people. I'll put the pieces together, rent space in a gallery and throw a bash. And if things sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. But I've always said it, and I still maintain, that mentality or idea. I'm not looking to get famous. I'm not looking to jet set around the world and, oh my god, oh, it's Lazaro Gomez. It's Lazaro Gomez. It's BOT10ART. Oh, that's cool, but at the same time, that's not me. And that's where we're kind of different in the sense that, yeah, he started out that way, creating artwork, and the family and everything was great and blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's almost like he's living two lives, right? He's living two lives. This life of fame and fortune, and you know, being interviewed, and then come home and do the life or the home life, right? Throw out the grass or throw out the grass. That's important. Throw out the grass. Throw out the trash, cut the grass, do your laundry, all those things. Still, while maintaining this presence in the art community, like you have to stay relevant. It's the same thing for musicians. A band puts out an album and it's great and this and that, and oh my God, they got success. So the follow-up album, and you're making albums every year and you're touring and this and that, whatever, and you don't have any time. This is what your life became, right? And that's something that I've always said I didn't want. I don't want to, number one, I don't want to be away from my family. Like, I do everything that I do, and I always have my kids running around. Oh, what are you doing, Dad? This and that, whatever, blah, blah, because I'm well involved in their life. I certainly do not want to sacrifice my relationship with my wife the way it happened in this documentary. He was doing all of his work and doing all of the things that he was doing, and she was there. She was taking the kids to school, bathing them, putting them to sleep, doing homework, cooking, cleaning, doing all of that stuff just so that they can maintain the family, right? And he can do what he was doing. So he talks about being lost. Sometimes you lose focus. Sometimes you lose focus on what what you're doing, what it is that you want to accomplish, your goals and this and that. And it's very easy to do because it's happened to me. Hey, I got these orders. I got to do, I have this commission that I have to do. I have these, 10 pieces I have to print out and ship out. I sold a couple of prints, and I'm setting up for this, and there's this project there, and I have to keep going, and it eats up a lot of time. And there's I see so many I see so many movies and documentaries and stuff on Netflix because literally it's playing in the background while I'm doing my work. And yeah, my wife is taking care of the kids. She's taking care of the house. She's doing all of the things that make this happen. Right now I'm doing a podcast, and yeah, she's resting. She's sleeping. It's early in the morning. It's her time to rest. And, she does it because she sacrifices for me and for the kids and, all of these different things. And it's very easy to take that for granted if you're that type of person. For me, I appreciate every single thing that my wife does. Everything. I appreciate every single moment that we spend together. There's times where she pulls me out of the vortex, right? Hey, man, we need to play video games. We need to just sit outside for a little while. Or let's do this or let's do that. And I appreciate her for that so much because, yeah, just like Lister, you get consumed by that. You're bringing revenue into the family to support the family. My daughter just got accepted to a school of the arts, which my son graduated from, and it's like, here we go again. And the thing is, I've given up a lot of things as far as an art career goes, or art opportunities and stuff like that, just simply because it conflicted with my family. Like, sorry. Hey man, it'd be really awesome if you came to this party and you did a live. Like, when is that? Sorry, yeah, my son's playing in school, so I can't do it. Goodbye. And I'm not, I'm not being a jerk or anything like that, but I understand exactly what's important in my life. And, my wife always makes the joke that I'm married to two women. I'm married to her and I'm married to my art. And it's true. I do appreciate my art. I love my art. I've been an artist all my life and I don't know how to do anything else except this, you know? But at the same time, it's like, okay, this is my vehicle. I need to provide for my family. I got to make sure that my kids have clothes, they have a good place to live, everything is great, their school, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So, like Rush, the working man. I'm the working man. And yeah, I love and appreciate everybody that watches these videos, everybody that buys my artwork, everybody that supports me, that shows up to shows and, sends me messages and likes and shares all my stuff. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate all of it. I haven't drawn a single thing. I probably won't draw in this episode. It's too good. But anyway, I appreciate all of it. I've done well. I've done well for myself with my artwork. I stayed true to the things that I believe in. And more importantly, as my kids get older, I want to be involved in their life more and more and more and more. And I've always been there. I've always been involved. I've always, my son growing up, he's now going to be, well, he's an adult already, but yeah, all his life, I've gone to all of his shows and everything, all his performances and stuff like that. And we're close knit, right? We're a close knit family. I've been married to my wife for 25 years. Well, we're going to celebrate our 25th year. And we made it work. So that's the difference between me and Lister. I think he let it get away from him. I think he let the fame and success go to his head. And that, with the combination of drugs and, countless parties and whatever the hell else was involved in his life, it cost him his family. It cost him his love, his wife's love. And not to give it all away, but at the end, he's trying to reconcile with his family and stuff like that. But there were key things. There were key things in the documentary that I was like, oh my God, how much time has gone by, how much he missed. One of the instances was Easter. Easter had come around, and they were supposed to do Easter-like activities in the house, but he was out. He was out the night before with his friends, and they were doing street art, a lot of graffiti and stuff like that, and he gets arrested. And the mom had to, or the wife had to explain to the kids why daddy was not there, Well, So she told them the truth. He was arrested, and, that's why he's not there for Easter. And, that's exactly it. It's like, dad's working, dad's working, dad's working, dad's working. And, here it's that, I don't want to say it's the same way because it's not, like, but I could feel it. I could see it, Hey, we're gonna go out and we're gonna do this. You stay here and do your work. And I'm like, nope, that can wait. Yes, I have deadlines. Yes, I have people waiting. But I'm certainly not going to sacrifice my time with my family to do something artistic or creative for somebody else. I'm sorry, it's just that way. And I hope you guys understand it. I mean, I know this may not resonate well with people that are not in the art world or in the art community or our artist or whatever. Um, but what you have to do take into consideration is that we are people as well. We have problems, we have issues, we have car problems, we have all kinds of things. And for me, I'm the type of person, I put out a lot of art. I put out a lot of art, and it's like this giant, wave of like creativity and just stuff. And after a while, my wife has to like, all right, whoa, horsey, like you're giving them too much. You belong to me. You're mine. And I mean, God, man, I love her for that. I love her for that because the same way that you have this love and appreciation for artwork, for what you love to do, for the creative brain doesn't shut down. So for a lot of years, I've said something that people don't understand. Oh, you're so talented. You're so talented. You have this gift. You have this gift. And I always say the same thing. It's like, it's not a gift. It's a curse. I apologize. I'm kind of, but this is a subject that's close to my heart. So that was, it's not a gift. It's a curse. To be so talented and to do so many things and all of that stuff, but still maintain the things that are important in your life. I'll never miss a birthday. I'll never miss anything that's going on in my house, in my life, because that's what's important. That's the reason why I do it. Every print I sell, every show I go to, everything I do is for my family, so that they don't have to struggle, so that they don't have to live the life that I lived growing up. It was very hard for me growing up. And yeah, that's why I do it. So I never lose, I never lose focus or lose sight of that. But this documentary kind of like, yep, man, I get it. I get it, dude. But yeah, I saw the similarities. I saw the differences. Of course, the time that you miss doing artwork, the integrity of your artwork. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to do? Who you are as a person. Money. At one point in time, he made so much money that he didn't even care. He was depressed. He wanted to go home. He wanted to see his family. He wanted to see his kids. And somebody would see that and say, my God, you made, I think he made like $150,000 in a single night, and he just didn't give a crap. He was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. So, that's another thing that drives me insane. It's like, when people ask me, oh, can you do this for me? And you say no, for whatever the reason. I'll pay you, man. I'll give you this. I'll give whatever, whatever you charge, I'll triple it. I'll quadruple it. It's like, you don't get it, dude. It's like, it's not that important. Sorry. I got to go to dinner with my wife because we're celebrating whatever, So, yeah, money isn't everything. Success, fame, it isn't everything. Yeah, it's so weird because I've been featured here locally in the Orlando Weekly, and it was, for the moment, it was like, wow, that's cool, and it's like, yeah, but I never looked at it and said, oh yeah, God, I don't like this. Why did they do this? Why did they say that about me? Or, yeah, it's just cool, man. It's like people like it, and that's it. So I've always stayed away from the limelight, if you would, because I always felt like people should know my artwork and not know me. And I live under this little tiny rock. and I never come outside. But it's true, I don't want people to fall in love with Lazaro the artist, or BOT10ART the artist, or whatever. You know, that's not important. I'm just a vehicle, right? I'm the vessel. I'm what's channeling the creativity through. Fall in love with the artwork. Let the artwork speak to you. Let it be something that's meaningful to you. I'm just a dude that creates it. So I was never, I don't know, I was never big on that sort of stuff. I didn't really care too much about, being famous or none of that stuff. If I can, sell my prints, I sell prints online on my store for, $3. That's the lowest. I think 10 is the highest, which is insane because a lot of people are like, "You're nuts, dude. Why are you selling prints at $3?" and blah blah blah. It's like, you know what? It's not about the money. It's, I want people to like it. I want people to buy it, to make it accessible to everybody. If you love it, man, by all means, do it. There's a lot of ways to make money, and that's not always going to. It's not always going to make you happy. It's not always going to make you happy because you can make a ton of money and then, you wasted so much time that you could have been doing something else, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's not always what you think it should be. And I know I'm saying you or whatever, but just I'm talking about people in general. So if you're an artist, don't back down, don't give in, and just be yourself, be true to yourself, be true to the people that you love, be true to the people that love and appreciate you, because that's another thing too. You could be surrounded by people and be absolutely alone because none of those people understand you, none of those people truly know who you are, and they just want to be around because, oh look, he's the famous artist, or the famous musician or the famous photographer or whatever the case may be. And so, in short, what I got out of this documentary and what I wanted to express to all of you is that I am absolutely grateful that I took all the right steps in my life to avoid a huge disaster, because I certainly couldn't live without my wife, without my kids, and I couldn't live without artwork. It's like I'm not gonna give up doing artwork, but I do have a balancing act, right? I'm dad, I'm husband, I'm support, I clean the house, I do the dishes, I do all of that stuff, right? It's like if you don't do that, grandma will get after you. Lava el plato, wash that plate, boy. It's like I know where I came from. I know what keeps me grounded. and yeah, I find a way. Here I am sitting in my home studio, just kind of relaxing, enjoying myself, doing a podcast, talking to all of you. And then later on, I'm gonna celebrate with my wife and kids the acceptance of my daughter in the School of Arts. We're gonna go out for her favorite ramen, and I know the secret place, and I'm gonna take her, and we're gonna have a good time, and just kind of keep going from there. I have a lot of work to get to. I'll get to it, I promise. But at the moment, that's a bit more important, and it's the balance between good and evil. You always have to think about that. All right. I hope I didn't bore you to death with this crazy story of mine. And but if you did enjoy it, go ahead and destroy the like button. It helps me out here on YouTube. If you're new to Noodle Doodle, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay a long time. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get notifications as to when I go live. And we're going to keep going, keep doing this thing. We'll be back next week, next Sunday, uh, next Sunday, 9 o'clock, 9-ish, around there. And I promise I'll do some artwork. It's just uh, I couldn't really focus on creating a piece of artwork in my sketchbook and saying all of the things I wanted to say. It was too close to home, right? Too close to home. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and going into the new week. I hope everything goes well for you. You eat good food, and work. The work is pleasant for you. So, as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye bye. We'll see you next week. Thank you all. Bye.